Hello, and welcome to the newest episode of the Drive Home Podcast. I'm your host, and I feel like I'm older than I really am. Call it poor, whatever, any and everything. Call it circumstance, but it sucks, and I feel like crap all the time. That's besides the point, though. Let's drive this podcast home. So, I used to be, not picture perfect health or whatever, but I used to get deeply sick when I was very young. It might have had something to do with me having asthma, so I couldn't get as much exercise or do much of anything. So, when I did go outside, I could barely run for any amount of time, thus, even in winter, especially in winter, because putting on snow gear was hard. And then just being out there with all the snow gear on, and mind you me, I do not get that cold. I did not need all the snow gear. But if you wanted to go outside during recess, when there's snow outside, you gotta, have a full set of gear, because I don't know, you get sick otherwise. Long story short, when I did get sick, it wasn't super duper, well actually, it was relatively frequently. I would get horribly sick in, stages. And, I mean, so, I would have, intense, fevers for so long, I guess. Well, I guess it was only a day or two at a time when I did have them, and then it was far and few between, but it was still really bad. And at some point after that time, I don't know when it exactly happened, but I stopped getting all that sick. I would get the sniffles, or whatever, my nose gets clogged every once in a while, and sometimes I have, smaller asthma attacks. I find it hard to breathe just because I have asthma, but I mostly grew out of it, I believe. But the damage was done, I guess. Just I don't have that much stamina, much of anything. I was more of an indoorsy kid. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved going outside when we were at school, and it was the thing that you got to do that was fun. But then, I don't know. So, I got shy. I moved, my mother moved when I was going into the 3rd grade. So we moved to a new school district, and I got shy. I mean, making friends at first is everybody's new, and it's who cares? Who knows anything? No one, because you're all kids. But in 3rd grade, people already have their sort of developed groups, and I mean, I don't think I thought about it that deeply, or that I would at any point, I guess, besides retrospectively, I guess, but it definitely is, I don't know, I just became extremely shy, and maybe I was always shy, and I just never knew, because I had friends before I made friends, I made friends, but I don't know. Maybe I was, maybe I'm not as shy as I think I was, I don't know. But I just kind of shut up, and I mean, I kind of made one friend within the first week, and then that was sort of it. I didn't need anybody else, there's just the one guy, and I was suffocating him in terms of friendship, because I just had no one else, and so I don't know. Eventually, he had to, tell me to back off, which is fair. I was sad at the time, 100% fair in retrospect. And it's a good thing he did that, because, I mean, I don't remember what exactly happened, but at some point he stopped going to school for a little bit. I don't know why. I've mentioned him before in some other stories, but he's a good guy. But no, yeah, just, I don't know. Like when you don't know people, so you don't have like an outside source of like. And I did have a couple friends, but they were in different grades, so it was always harder to talk to them. But then going into middle school, because I was out, so in my school district, 5th grade into 6th grade, that's the jump. So 5th grade is the end of elementary school, and then you go into middle school. And so that was like 3 years in both my elementary schools. The only time I wasn't in a school for 3 years was when was high school, because that's 4 years. Funny. Anyway, so it was tough on me, but I made it through all of that stuff, and it's a good thing, because I learned to, I don't know if I learned to, but I was a bit more outgoing. I say that. I don't really think I was. I just kind of like accidentally slipped into a friend group by some sliver of a chance. I don't even know how, honestly. But it's a good friend group, so. I don't know. I had a crap time in middle school, though. I mean, elementary school was a bit more difficult as well, but I think middle school was the hardest on me. Not because of friends or anything, but the school itself. I mean, I don't think the school was bad, but like, I don't know, something about the way things were taught, I don't know. I'm not here to say the school system or anything is bad. I don't really know enough about it to say anything like that, but I had a hard time in middle school. High school was a lot easier for maybe one or two reasons, but I don't know. They let you do, I mean, like, it was more freeing, I guess, in a sense. And it was like, I feel like a lot of middle school felt like, here's an assignment every single day. And, sometimes the assignments were meant to take multiple nights to do. And you were expected to do them at home. In high school, they basically were like, if you can't finish it here, you can do it at home, but you should be able to get it done here. Unless if it's specifically a project meant for home. And there were some projects where you're supposed to work on it at home and stuff, and at some point, COVID did happen in high school, so, for me. So that was sort of a crazy thing. But, all in all, school was definitely more interesting than not, I guess. I mean, I don't know, it's strange. It's really strange. I've almost talked to like no one from back then. At least not anyone who was like directly my friend. I made friends with some of my brother's friends, but I mean, and so it's more like I'm better friends with one of my brother's friends than he is at this point. though he became kind of a recluse. No offense to him, he has his own share of issues and reasons for doing what he did, but he kind of locked himself away and played video games for a long time, and he's sort of getting back out there. I mean, he's catching up in where he missed out in high school, I guess. So. I don't know, but we played games a lot, so together. So. All right, I guess, yeah, today is Valentine's Day. I'm not dating anyone. I don't have anyone like that. So, and my mother got me some stuff this morning. She dropped it off in my room before she went to work. So, I got her something. She likes dark chocolate, so I got her something. So I got her some little dark chocolate stuffs. And they're heart shapes because it's Valentine's Day. I'm not gonna say his name, but I learned today that a really nice guy who had been working at my store for a bit. So he worked there before I started, and he left because he was getting old and he had retired. But he came back because our department needed help, and he'd been working there so long. And since he was kind of like a stand-in, sort of, he sort of made his own hours. Like, he was just like, I'll work nights from so and so to so and so, or whatever, on these days. And that's all he did. Like, he came in like 3-4 nights a week, and he worked the nights, and he was still retired. But no, I talked to him a handful of times, and he's really nice. He was a really nice guy. He stopped coming in. I can't remember when. Over a year ago, at this point. And I heard today from somebody else who works in my department that he had passed away, and that was really sad. He's a really good guy. As far as I know, but I mean, no, I do believe he was a good guy. He was good at making jokes and talking to people, and he always got his job done. He was really good. I mean, like, he might have been like the fastest person in our department. And I mean, he had the experience to back it up as well. So that really sucked. It really sucked to hear that he passed, but I don't know. It doesn't feel right. I don't know. Things recently just haven't been. People have. I don't know. Not lots of, but. February seems to take things from me or people around me. I'm not sure if this is true, and I'd have to go look at it, but I think when I was younger, a lot younger, barely even a year worth of memories in me at the time, but I think my great-grandfather and my grandfather passed away within like a 2-week period around this time. And it really sucked. No, maybe it was a little bit later. I don't know. So, while it is customary to say Happy Valentine's Day, I don't necessarily think that this is one of those. Not this one. And it sucks. It does. And a lot of people have their own views on different holidays, and I've never really had much of one for Valentine's Day. It exists, but it's just a day. So I don't see much about it. I mean, it's something for couples or something. I don't know. It exists, and that's fine. But I've never really had a reason to celebrate it. I don't mind getting candy and stuff from family, but it just seems unnecessary to a certain extent. Well, this has gone from sad to morbid. There shouldn't be a gap or anything. Just get this out of the way. There shouldn't be a gap, but some video or some episodes I recorded probably won't go up. I think they got political. Well, they did, and I don't like that. That's not what this podcast is about. Politics are stupid, and I don't want to get involved with them. And it's just, I don't know what any of the terms are or whatever. And things are always going to sway the other way from time to time. I don't really care to get involved, and I'm not going to, so. So, there won't be a delay in episodes or anything, but I might, some things in some episodes might sound or seem different. There might be cuts to stuff. So, if there is, just know that I accidentally spoke politics. Or purposely spoke politics, and retroactively hated myself. And if there is something political in any of my previous episodes, I forgot, and whoops. I doubt there is, though. Most of the political stuff happened within the last, 2 weeks. 3 weeks, actually. And the episodes are really far behind. Anyway, that's about all I've got for this episode. And I'm about home anyway. So, thank you all for joining me in this episode of the Drive Home Podcast. I know it was kind of sad or morbid. But I don't know. I hope you guys have a great Valentine's Day. Even if you don't celebrate it, I just hope it's better than mine. Because mine's just kind of really sad. So, thank you all for being here and listening. If you liked it, give it a like. If you didn't, you don't have to. Have a great next 24 hours, everybody. Bye.